With Caster, creating and distributing professional music promotion campaigns is easier than ever. PlayMPE's dedicated operations team provides full-service assistance to high-profile clients. So let's take a quick walkthrough of the full-service version of Caster so you can see how we've streamlined the process of uploading assets and inputting all essential release information. Firstly, log into your Caster account at caster.plaympe.com. Then you can select the Create New Release button. Next, you will want to upload your broadcast-ready music files. You can use the Upload Files button to browse through your hard drive, or you can simply use the drag and drop function. To make sure your music files are broadcast-ready, you will want to upload an uncompressed WAV or AIFF file available for download. Depending on your release plan, you can upload one song file or multiple to supply recipients with the original version and/or any combination of explicit, radio, and/or instrumentals. Most mainstream radio requires a clean and/or radio edit, so keep that in mind. Next up is the release information section, where you upload the cover art, whether that be for a single, EP, album, or compilation, along with all the essential release information. If you don't have a record label name, you can just use your artist name and add the word music, for example. If your name is John Smith, your label could be John Smith Music. The form will ask you to choose a distribution type, and then you will want to input which lists you want your release distributed to. If you want your release available for download, then choose Full. If your release should be stream only, then you can select that here. To determine which distribution list to reference, make sure to look over the price sheet provided by your music industry relations rep. You will want to make sure to note the territory and the format. For example, Australia Alternative or US Modern Rock Specialty. If you get stuck and are not sure what to enter in any of the other fields, you can click on the tooltip next to it, the question mark, which will give you a quick explanation. Handy. The promotional information section is where you can add everything you want included in the body of your promotional email. This is where you can add an artist bio, press quotes, social media links, a PR, video links, contact information, and any other key information you want tastemakers to see first. If you wish to add documents or files available for download, such as promo photos, album art, or a bio in PDF form, please feel free to add that to the attachment section above. The notification Send Information section lets your PlayMPE release coordinator know when you want your release to go live. The box marked sender's name and email subject is where you will input who your promotional email is from, your company name, or just your name, and then a catchy subject line to grab the attention of recipients when it hits their inbox. The release available date and time input box is where you indicate when you would like the promotional email to be sent. We understand some releases can be time sensitive, but please try to give us up to 48 hours to work on your release before it goes live. You can also add in a message to communicate anything additional your rep may need to know when building the email. For example, if you want anything in bold, or if you prefer the video goes in a certain spot. The track information section is super important, so make sure to input all the pertinent information and metadata associated with the track or tracks in your release. If multiple tracks will have identical information, you can select all on the left when inputting your album's UPC or copyright year, for example. But then make sure to deselect all when inputting each track's individual ISRC so that it doesn't overwrite everything you just did. What is an ISRC? It stands for International Standard Recording Code, and it is something radio programmers need in order to report when a track is played so that you can get those sought-after royalties. So ideally, you would always want to make sure to include it. Once you've filled in all the required fields, which are marked with a red asterisk, you will want to review everything to make sure you got it all before you hit the Submit button. For example, each track should have its own ISRC, whereas the entire release will have the same copyright year and UPC if the tracks are part of a full album. If your track is by a Canadian artist, you will also want to mark it as CanCon. If you are including any other versions of the same song, you will want to indicate that in the versions input box, whether it is a radio edit, explicit, or instrumental. It is also important to consider who you are sending your release to. If you have included music supervisors in your chosen lists, they will definitely want to see a songwriter and publishing info as well as lyrics. So make sure to consider the recipients when filling out this section. The more info the better, as it makes the job of their tastemaker a lot easier. Once you are confident you have included all the essentials, then click the Submit button. Please note you cannot go back to edit your release after you hit Submit. This is why we urge you to triple check everything. If you do find that you missed something, even after checking it all over, no worries. Just reach out to your release coordinator to let them know of any changes you wish to make, and they will be able to assist you on their end. Once your release has been submitted, our operations team will be notified, and a dedicated release coordinator will set up the initial draft of the release email for your review. Once your Play and PE release coordinator has set up your release, an approval request email will be sent to you. This sample email will show what your release email will look like when it shows up in the Tastemakers inbox. Please note, if you are using a free Gmail account, this email may show up in spam or promotions, so make sure you track it down if you don't see it in your main inbox. Once you find the sample email, you will then have the option to approve, or you can request changes by selecting the Change Required button. You can also reply directly to the sample email with your feedback and notes for changes. Once you are happy with a final version, you can simply click Approve, and your release is good to go. Recipients of your release will receive a Play and PE release email notification. To access the release, tastemakers simply click on the Get It Now button in the email. Even if a recipient doesn't open your email right away, they will see your release appear automatically in their personal player account under New Releases on the Available date, under all of the formats you've selected. Then, they can choose to flag, stream, and/or download your new release, and that's when the journey of your song begins.